President Trump, we love you. We will support you all the way to the end. Thank you for everything you've been doing.
We have a message for you, President Trump, from all the way down from the RGV 956. Latinos for Trump here representing. We've been with you since 2016. Co-founded Latinos for Trump. We pray for you, and it's time to what? Finish the wall! 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 Finish the wall!
Trump 2024, man, we have to protect this country.
If they let in hundreds or thousands of people who already have criminal records, if deporting them creates a mass deportation, I'm all for it.
But what if rounded up in all of that are people who work on a farm? They're doing the jobs that Americans don't want to do. Does that worry you?
That wouldn't be fair. Of course, they need to make sure that they don't throw away, they don't kick out, they don't deport people that are family oriented.
But maybe upon Washington, D.C., would you be that sweet red hot lava for us?
Number 3, we're going to deport. We're going to deport a lot of people, 10 million people and growing, anchor babies, their parents, their grandparents. We're going to
the line. But let's look at one demographic group where Trump did strikingly better than before, the Hispanic vote.
Where are my proud Latinos at tonight?
Trump made large gains amongst Hispanic voters, improving his margin by 10 percentage points on average compared with 2020.
Latino voters could really make or break the race in 2024. The group makes up a record of 14.7% of the electorate.
My wife, she was asking me, was like, were you mad that so many Latinos voted for Trump? Like, weren't you upset about that? And I was like, I knew that they were going to vote for Trump. I have cousins who want to deport cousins. Like, it's personal for them. Doesn't care. There's like, no, I want to deport Julian. He's got to go.
This in Texas, particularly on the border with Mexico. Starr County, where almost all of the population are Hispanic, hasn't voted for a Republican presidential candidate in more than 100 years. Trump got more than 57% of the vote there.
Deportation alert. When Donald Trump takes office on Monday, he has ICE agents lining up in Chicago. They've flown 150 extra agents there to conduct massive raids to start detaining immigrants and start scaring the crap out of people.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
I want to get out.
Well, come out then.
No, this door is locked. I can't even turn it.
Oh, come out.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into America's ongoing political soap opera. Now, today's episode, it's a spicy one because Latinos for Trump, yes, the same folks who proudly waved MAGA flags, shouted build the wall, and said Trump would make America great again, are now realizing that maybe, just maybe, they voted against their own interests. And guess what? They're mad, furious, even, but not at Trump, or probably not at Trump alone. Nope. Some of them are now pointing fingers at, Black Americans, because apparently Black Americans, it was their fault they didn't see the red flags. Welcome to FAFO season, folks. Find out after fooling around. And business is booming.
So recently they did a focus group where they invited several Latinos. All these Latinos voted for Trump, and they stated that they regret their votes for Trump because of the economy and mass deportations, which was Trump. Trump was really transparent on these particular issues. He'd been running on border security for over half a decade. He'd been running on tariffs and who could use which bathroom and who could play in whose sports. So there's no possible way you could really have voters remorse when Trump was completely transparent. I just find it interesting that this study comes out after Trump took funding from this grant for Hispanics and redirected those funds to HBCUs. This is very telling, and they go on and say that if it was a do-over, they still wouldn't vote for Kamala. They'll vote for a third party or stay home. How Mano say it? Hi haters, remember that song?
footage that I'm going to show from this interview may actually cause you brain damage. Because when I say that there are, you know how we have our Sambos in the black community? These mofos exist in the Latino community. And the disconnect that they have from reality it's something to witness, bro. It's something to really just truly just take in. Because I came across this interview, right? You have Mario and Maria, who came from Guatemala, okay? And they come here to the States and they get married and they have 3 kids and they talking about, oh, we live in the American dream, right? We live in the American dream.
Mario and Mireya Alvarez found the American dream in Las Vegas. They came to the U.S. from Mexico and Guatemala in the 80s. With his job in a supermarket and her job in a casino, they bought a house and raised 3 children.
Well, we come to find out that Mario voted for Kamala, that he was going back and forth, whether to Trump or Kamala, that he eventually settled with Kamala. As crazy as that may sound, okay, as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that may sound, you a Latino from Guatemala deciding, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. Hold on, I don't know which one. Despite Kamala losing, he says he's happy. He says the whole family's happy. Now, I'm thinking to myself, ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, amigo? Huh? What are you talking about? You happy? I'm very curious. Why are you happy? He goes and says, well, because I think he's going to bring back the economy. Okay, that's what he's going to do. He really cares for the country.
But today, he's not upset about the results.
I'm kind of like more happy than upset. Why? Because Donald Trump is going to help the country with the economy.
The whole household is happy.
Now, I have no issue with that, okay? I really have no issue with that because that is a sentiment that is ubiquitous, to be honest with you, and it's clearly shown in the exit polls. So I can't fault him for that feeling. Can't fault him. I think that's something that was a very glaring issue when it came to Kamala. But then we get to his son. And he asks his son, hey, who'd you vote for? And his son is like resounding, I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. Now, after he says he votes for Trump, he then goes and tells us and lists off quite intelligently all the
There's a lot of self-hating Latinos on this app, like Latinos for Trump. And obviously, they think they're white. They try to cater to white Republicans. They're desperate for acceptance, which, they'll never get. And I find it very interesting because never once have I seen a white Republican, repost their videos or share their videos or like their videos or leave a comment saying that they support them. Never. If you go to their comment section, all you're gonna see is other self-hating Latinos. It's like a little circle jerk of self-hate. They're so desperate for acceptance that they seek validation within themselves. If you don't believe me, go to any of their videos and just go look at the comments. And I'll take it even a step further. You guys remember Tortas Manantial, that Mexican restaurant in Phoenix that came out saying that they were MAGA and now they're going bankrupt? I have not seen a single white Republican or a MAGA content creator come out and say, you know what, let's go support Tortas Manantial, let's go take them out of bankruptcy. Not one. Tortas Manantial is pro-MAGA, but MAGA is not pro-Tortas Manantial. I just find it very interesting how the people that they're so desperate to be accepted by do not care about them at all. It's such a bizarre inferiority complex, almost like Stockholm Syndrome. But there you have it, guys. I have not seen a single white Republican support any of these Latinos for Trump. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
So now I'm seeing all these videos of Mexican Americans crying about how they regret voting for Trump. And honestly, I can't feel bad for you. Because when we told you this would happen, you didn't listen. When it was just theoretical, it was easy to ignore. But now that your undocumented family is at risk, now that your kids are being targeted or the kids in your circles, now that they're coming for you, now it's a problem. Listen, I get it. I have family who voted for him too, and I won't lie, it makes it very hard to process. It sometimes even makes it hard to talk to them because how am I supposed to be okay with that? I have undocumented family. I have a trans sibling. Trump's policies directly hurt people I love. So when I see our own people supporting him, it feels like a slap in the face. And I keep asking myself, why? How did this happen? This man called Mexicans rapists. He bragged about deporting families. He made racial profiling and hate cool again. And still, some of you voted for him. And now, reality is hitting. Oklahoma just passed a law requiring parents to prove citizenship to enroll their kids in school. Texas is next. Who do you think they're coming for? Not white, undocumented Europeans. Latinos. And now some of you are shocked. What did you think was going to happen? That they'd make an exception for you? That you're somehow a good immigrant? That Trump actually cared about Latinos? Be serious. I know some of you are going to defend your stance with like, well, my family voted for him because they don't like socialism. They care about small businesses. They're conservative. They're religious. Okay. But at what cost? At the cost of our people being deported? At the cost of our kids being denied education? At the cost of our community being unsafe? And so now you're feeling the consequences and you want us to feel sorry for you. No. I'm saving my sympathy for the people who didn't vote against their own families. It's exhausting. We tried to tell you, but if you voted for Trump and regret it, sit with that, reflect on it, because the rest of us, we saw this coming. Please don't share any hate, not even towards Latinos who voted for Trump. This is just my personal view and my frustration about this entire situation.
Latinos of all backgrounds, do y'all not realize black people are not the only people in this country? You got your Chinese Americans, your Japanese Americans, your Korean Americans, your Indian Americans, your Muslim Americans, your white Americans, and your own people. So why in Davy Jones' locker are y'all so pressed and mad at us because we not out protesting? Folks, we did the most effective protesting last November, and the data proves it. We protested when it mattered the most. We were not out here with whole productions talking about some we will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all was out here with that foolishness, knowing full well that y'all had a few abuelas, a few tios, tias, mijo, and mijas in your house undocumented. But y'all got y'all behinds on stage talking about some we will vote for Donald Trump. And you think we supposed to be out here protesting, picket fence in hand, clowning like some monkeys in a zoo? No, sirree bop. We did what we were supposed to do. And y'all put y'all's own community in the position that it's in now. And y'all need to live with it.
Do you know who is starting to come across my FYP that is totally pissing me off? It's not maggots. Well, it is the maggots. They're a piece of shit and they're dumb as hell. They piss me off every day. But it is this whole group of the Latinos that went and voted for Donald Trump. I guess you could say they fucked around and found out. And they went and voted for a man that we told them do not vote for. They went and voted for the man that said he is going to do exactly what he's doing. And they want sympathy from us? I don't care. I don't care at all. Fuck you. And I hope you get deported.
So the Latino voters are now saying that they regret voting for Donald Trump. But here's the thing. They shouldn't be surprised. So there was a focus group that was conducted by the Bulwark that found that 7 Latino voters from swing states like Nevada, Colorado, Florida, New Jersey, and Virginia all admitted that they regret their 2024 Trump vote. Most gave him a D rating for his presidency, and one gave him a flat-out F. And while it's good that they're realizing it now, let's be honest, the warning signs were there all along. Trump ran on policies that were openly hostile to immigrant communities, promised mass deportations, and built his political career on vilifying Latinos, yet some still bought into the illusion that he cared about the economy, family values, and now they're shocked that ICE raids are ripping apart neighborhoods and that racism and cruelty are more normalized than ever. That is exactly what voting against your own interests look like. This isn't about regret, it's about accountability. Supporting a man who made demonizing Latinos the cornerstone of his politics was never going to end well. And while pretending that it was a gamble worth taking, that was naive at best and self-destructive at worst. So the polling now shows that Trump is bleeding support among Latino men and young Latinos, the very groups he targeted with culture war distractions. And here's the truth. Culture wars don't pay your bills. Empty slogans don't protect families from deportation. Voting for Trump meant empowering someone who weaponized fear against your own community. Okay, so we need to say this bluntly. It's not enough to realize it after the fact. We cannot afford more voters falling for the same trap in 2026 and 2028 because regret doesn't undo the harm. Families are still separated. Communities are still traumatized. That's the real cost of believing Trump's lies. Latino voters hold enormous power, nearly 1 in 5 Americans, but power only matters if it's used wisely. And if they want real change, they can't keep voting for politicians who treat them as scapegoats and enemies. Trump showed exactly who he was from the very beginning. Believing otherwise wasn't just a mistake, it was a betrayal of your own community. Before you go, if you'd like to support my work, you can grab a bag of coffee from the coffee roaster using my affiliate link. The show gets a small cut from each sale, and plus you'll be helping a local small business thrive. And the best part is that you'll get 10% off of your first order, and they'll ship anywhere in the US. So place your order today using the link in my bio.
I am so sick of watching Black Americans sit there and advise their people not to support the immigration movement that's going on across the entire United States.
We already provided you guys with a whole amazing woman. Donald Trump, I don't know if you heard about the budget bill that increased the US debt by $3 trillion, taking away from working class people. Okay, this is the chart here. You see 90% of US income earners are not seeing a dime of that money. It was for the billionaires. And on top of that, FEMA's cut. You got ICE agents and masks coming to yoink people up. Whereas you had Kamala Harris, this whole amazing woman who was going to extend a child tax credit to people with children, who was going to extend a credit to people who had elderly family members in the home as well as children, who was going to extend a subsidy, a tax credit on first-time home buyers of $20,000. So Black people already helped you. Sorry.
Let's rewind for a second. During the last election cycle, we saw a wave of Latino voters, especially men, rallying around Trump. They loved his tough on immigration talk, even though, let's be honest, those same policies were coming for their tears and abulars. Many thought they'd be spared because, well, they are the good immigrants, right? Now, the hardworking, legal ones, they believed Trump's crackdown were only meant for others. God knows who. Fast forward to now. Deportations are up. Work visas are drying up. Or rather, drying out. Small businesses are closing. And the economy is smacking everyone who isn't sitting on Wall Street. Latino families are feeling the pinch. And suddenly, the red hat doesn't feel as comfortable as it did a few years and months ago. Now, don't get me wrong. Regret is part of political cycle. People vote, they realize what they signed up for, and they adjust. That's democracy. But blaming Black Americans for not speaking up to warn you, that's where the comedy kicks in. Because, excuse me, but what do you mean not speaking up? Black Americans have been screaming from the rooftops about Trump's rhetoric, his racism, his policies, and his history of discrimination since day one. You didn't listen, obviously, so for reasons best known to you, because some of you believed you were different. You thought proximity to whiteness or patriotism would shield you. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It's like someone saw their neighbor's house on fire, said, "Glad that's not me," and then acted shocked when their own roof started smoking. You can cheer for the man who called your home countries hate holes, push policies that, caged migrants, children, and then he's surprised, and then be surprised when I start knocking on your cousin's door. That's not political betrayal. That's the consequences of believing you were an exemption to the rule. And now, the same people who proudly screamed America First are realizing that America First didn't mean you. It meant them, the rich, the powerful, the connected. Meanwhile, your grocery bills have tripled, your rent's up 40%, and your small business loan just got denied. The great economy that was promised turns out It only works if your last name is Trump, not Torres. But let's look at this deeper. This isn't just about politics, it's about identity. Trumpism sold a dream that anyone could buy into whiteness if they wore the hat and set the lines. It was about belonging, not policy. And now the dream has expired. People are waking up the same harsh reality Black Americans have known for centuries. America's system weren't built to work for everyone equal. This irony, the same community that's now crying out for understanding was mocking others for playing the victim not too long ago. And yet here we are, protests, tears on TikTok, viral posts saying we didn't know it would be like this. Oh, but you did know, you just didn't believe it. That's the obvious reality. Now, let's talk about this whole blame Black people angle. Some of these folks are saying things like, where were Black leaders to warn us? As if they went entire movements, speeches, think piece, and interviews warning about the dangers of MAGA politics. It's given, I didn't study, failed the test, and now I'm mad the teacher didn't remind me to open my book. Newsflash, you can't outsource your political homework, especially not to the very group that's been the loudest critic of the man you idealize or you idolize, right? So here we are. FAFO season is full-blown. Latino MAGA voters are learning what happens when political fantasies meet economic and social realities. And the sad part, the blame game doesn't help anyone. If anything, this moment could be a wake-up call, a chance for unity, not division. Because, let's be honest, the same system hurting Latinos or Latino workers is hurting Black families. The same policies that crush small businesses in Miami are crushing them in Detroit. Maybe instead of blaming each other, it's time to start listening to each other. But hey, that's just me. So what do you think? Do you think the Latino MAGA regrets wave will shift future elections? Do you think the blame game between minority groups is helping or hurting? And do you believe Trump's base will ever admit the full cost of their loyalty? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Keep it respectful, keep it real. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more honest commentary on America's ongoing reality show, where every season somehow gets wider than the last one. Until next one, credit belongs to original creators. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you guys.